card that we're going to be making, and it's a simple card. This is a simple fun fold card. You can make it this way. It's called an easel card, and it's made so that you can, oh gee, what happened to the other one? Anyway, you can do it two ways. This is the portrait easel card. This is the most popular one, but it's basically something that you can give someone that if they want to display it in their office or anywhere in their home, they can display it like this, and it's just so pretty to have, especially for something like a birthday. Okay, so let's get started making our easel card. Now, all of these come from leftovers from the Sweet as a Peach class, and I'm going to be switching up my kits, so I'll be cutting everything for you, so there won't be any leftovers in my future kits until I change it again, probably. But for now, these are our leftovers. Now, we made this card with this is the last card we made with our leftovers, this pinwheel card here. That was fun. We made those with our leftovers. Sweet as a Peach, have a happy birthday. And of course you could decorate these too, but I don't really think that you need to. That paper is so pretty. So that was the first one we did. Now we're going to do this one. And don't you just love this paper? It's so easy to work with. All right, so from your leftovers, now you'll have to grab some white from your stash. This is thick basic white. It's 4 1/4 by 11. Basically a half a sheet that I just cut this way instead of this way like we normally do. But for this card, you're going to need a 4 1/4 by 11 thick basic white. And then you're going to need from your stash regular basic white, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 for stamping. Now in your leftovers, you should have a piece of paper that is like this. I had to cut this to size. I cut it to 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. So 3 7/8 by 5 1/4. And this is your piece of Calypso coral. Remember I gave you all those extra pieces of, I gave you like, I don't know, 3 or 4 pieces of extra. That's where you're getting this. So this Calypso coral is 4 by 5 1/4. And this is going to go on top of that. So we got 4 by 5 1/4. You have a piece of, what is this? What color is this? Well, you have it in your, it's the lighter peachy color. Pink, petal pink, I think it is. I think this is petal pink. Okay, and then it is 4 by 2 5/8. So 4 by 2 5/8. It's going to go underneath our label. And then you have a piece of our new in colors. It is, I've got it right here, Pale Papaya. My mind is really gone today. Hi Pat, welcome. Okay, so, and then the Pale Papaya is 4 by 2 3/4. So just a little bit bigger than this one. 4 by 2 3/4. And that's going to go here. Now I have I'm going to emboss this with an embossing later on. When I do my die cutting, I'll emboss this with the Tasteful Textures no, Tasteful Textile folder. This is a good folder to put a texture on a piece of cardstock. Like if I just put this on there without any texture, it would look weird. It would just like look flat. But because I put some texture on it, and that's the Tasteful Textile folder. It's great. If you have the subtle folder, you could use the subtle folder, but I think they retired the subtle folder. I'm not sure, but if you have that in your stash, you can use that. You should have, oh, this is actually, when I cut this at 4, it was 4 1/4, so I got my quarter there. But you could probably get your quarter here too if you need to. But this is a 1/4 inch wide and 3 7/8 inch wide. So 3 7/8 long and 1/4 wide. That's their Calypso coral. You should have one of these left unless you had to use it because you messed up. And that's fine. You can just use a piece of straight, a square, a rectangle of some kind. This is about 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. 3 3/4 by 2 1/2. So find something around those. This is from the Contour Dies, which is a really nice set to get. The Scalloped Contours, and it's the one that's missing because it's over by my, but that's a cute set, Scalloped Contours dies. And then you should have one of these little labels left unless you had to use that. You can find another label, but this one is like 1 3/8 by 1. So 1 3/8 by 1 inch. If you have to find something to kind of fill in. All right, so let's now that we know what all we need, let's get started. Yeah, the subtle folder is really good, but I think they did retire that one. I'm not, but don't hold me to that. But I used it a lot to put texture on cards, so I didn't have that flat look. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my trimmer here and score my base at 5 1/2 first. With my scoring tool this morning, I cut 1 in half because I used the wrong blade. And then I'm going to do it again at 2 3/4. So 2 3/4. So 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. And then I'm going to just fold those like that. Done with my trimmer. I'm going to take my bone folder and smooth those out because you do want these to be crisp folds so that it works fine. And there you go. That is probably one of the easiest fun folds that we have, and that's why I wanted to start with this one. And we'll start here and we'll build up. So the first thing we want to do is decorate the front. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on this here, like that. I'm just going to use some of my Stampin' Seal for that. How's everyone doing this morning? I hope you're doing well. I'm looking at the new catalog, and you guys should be getting yours in the mail soon. I had Stampin' Up mail them to you this time. I'm hoping it doesn't take forever. Okay, so normally when we put on a panel like this, we would put the glue or the whichever we're using, glue or seal on this, but this one we're going to put the seal on this bottom rectangle here, and I'm gonna really like kind of go crazy with it. So I've gone all the way around, and then I'm going to go a couple times in the middle, just because it's a moving card and I don't want it to come off. And so I'm going to use the top part to line it up, and then I'm going to put it down. And now I have this part here. Okay. The other thing we can go ahead and do is this little piece here. It is 2 inches from the bottom. So I'm going to put some glue on it. I'll find the side that I like the best and put the glue on the back. Little tiny dots of glue. Now this is where the grid paper comes in handy. I'm going to go 2 inches past this center line, and then I'll know that the center line is 2 inches. So unless it moves, and then you got to start over again. Okay, so there's my 2 inches there, and I'm going to bring this over and do my 2 inches here. So line that up, and that's the good thing about glue, is it does let you do a little bit of moving. Alright, so I've got it 2 inches from the bottom, and then this we will be doing in a little bit. We'll go ahead and put this on our petal pink. We'll go ahead and put that on the bottom. I'll just use some snail for that. Or whoops, am I running out, or is it just being ornery today? Good morning, Gwen. If you're here, make a comment so I can see you. So there's that. So we have some stamping to do on these 3 pieces, and then we'll do some die cutting and do our folder. Okay, so I'm going to get my stamping stuff out. Stamparatus. And I will need my D block, and I'm going to need my little sheet with just a little bit of Stampin' Seal on it. Let's start with this. I'm going to grab, I'm using Calypso Coral, Pear Pizzazz, and Pale Papaya, just like we did for our class kit. Oh, thanks, Gwen. Yeah, I gave all the dimensions at the beginning, so hopefully that will help you. It's simple, so shouldn't have too much trouble. Okay, so our leaves first. I just love this stamp set. I do. Oh, okay, I'm gonna put this over here. Make sure it's in the corner. Pick it up, and then I'm going to ink it up. I'll probably have to do it twice because I always like to get a nice deep color. Okay, so there's my leaves in my Pear Pizzazz, and I guess I'll need that for later. Running out of room here. Got all kinds of stuff on my table. So I'm clean that off with my Honest wipes that I love. They have a strange smell to them, but that's because they're like organic. They have that organic smell to them. And then I'm going to take this, flip it over and put it in the corner. And put that there. Make sure that's still in the corner perfectly. And that's going to be important that it is in the corner, so that when you'll see, we're going to be moving that. So, all right, so here's our first stamping. And of course, you know, I'm going to do it again. That's why I love the Stamparatus. And then I'm just going to slide this down, make sure that's going to stamp, but also leave room for if I want to, for die cutting. You don't want them too close. There's plenty of room there, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then again, now before I move anything or do anything, I'm going to put away my pale papaya, get out my Calypso coral. Now remember your little sponge dauber that you had? I'm going to get some ink on it, and I'm going to go around the edges of the flower with my Calypso coral. And that's what gives me that two-tone. If I like that, yeah, I don't want it to be too dark. Now here's why I had to keep it in the corner. I'm just going to slide this up back in the corner, and then these should line up perfectly because that's in the corner where I stamped it the first time, and I just did the wrong thing. I just did the wrong thing. I didn't use my dauber. I'm talking instead of thinking. That's my problem. All right, so I'm going to come back in here and use my dauber, darn, and go around with my dauber and then down. And now I have those. Okay, so I'm done with my Calypso coral for now. I've got to clean my mess up first. Then we'll do some more stamping. We'll do our sentiment stamping next. You're going on a walk, Pat? Good, because that's what I need to start doing. If I could get up early enough, I want to start going on a walk between 8 and 9, or 7:30 and 8:30, since I do my 9 o'clock. Okay, so those are almost ready. Now there's that little spider right here that I am going to use my D block for. Get my and I don't want to overdo on the ink for this because I don't want that to be the focal point. I just want it to be an accent. Okay, clean off my little spider. Now they're done. Ready to die cut. Let's do our sentiments. This is going to be have a peachy day because it's a birthday card. So I'm going to bring in my 4x6 plastic sheet, which I love this technique because I always get my, well, most of the time, I would say always, most of the time I get my sentiments straight. And that is so sticky, isn't it? Those sticky photopolymer stamps. Get my Calypso coral for Have a Peachy Day. Move that up. That'll show me where it's going to stamp, so that all I have to do now is get my piece of scratch paper with my sticky on it, slide this under, line it up, and it fits perfectly in there. These the labels that I used for this class came from the Messages dies. There's like, I don't know, 24 more dies, labels that you can cut all at once. So nice to have handy when you're doing a quick card. Okay, so there's our Have a Peachy Day. And clean my plastic off. Come here, plastic. Clean the Peachy Day off. Now I'm going to do our little label down here. So I'll get it. I'll put it on my sticky part. And for the label, we're going to do Happy Birthday. Clean that off. Happy birthday. I don't know. I need to find a better way to do that. It does that every time. Okay. Happy birthday. I guess I should put it on before I put the plastic on. Now I'm going to put my label up here. And it's just going to go in the top left-hand corner. Just make sure that it's level with the, I'm using this line, the dotted line, to line it up to make sure that it's straight. I'm going to ink that up. I found that if you put your magnets on each side, it keeps it from sliding when you lift up. Photopolymer is so sticky and it likes to slide when you pick it up. Slightly, a little bit more. Then that kind of keeps it from sliding when you put it on both sides. Now I'm going to leave that on my paper because I'm going to do Happy Birthday to a Sweet Friend. So put it back in the corner, clean off the stamp. So yeah, I've been looking at the new catalog for the holidays, and I'm telling you, it's hard to choose what classes I want to do. Hi, Catherine. So I may get your help. Hopefully you'll get your catalogs soon and you can look at them and tell me what classes you really like. Because I've done Halloween classes in the past and they always have such cute Halloween stuff, so I can't resist. But I don't know if everybody is as big on Halloween as I am. So, you know, I don't want to do a class that nobody's interested in taking. So I have my To a Sweet Friend right here, kind of to the bottom. Let me get this lined up. Happy Birthday to a Sweet Friend. Kind of tricky, but not impossible. Okay. I don't know how I would line these two up. Oops, that's got to move over because that's in the way. I don't know how I would line those up if I didn't use my plastic technique. They would be just so wonky, and they might still be a little wonky now that I'm looking at it. But it's okay. So Happy Birthday to a Sweet Friend. Clean that up, and I think that's it for our stamping. Yeah, Catherine, you finally made it. What time is it in Canada, where you're at, in Newfoundland? Oh, I got your card. I wanted to tell you. I checked my mail on Monday, and I got your card, and I haven't had a chance to tell you. Thank you. And let's see, I think that's it for stamping. Put my inks away, and make sure you get all the ink off your hands, because you definitely don't want to get ink on anything else. Yep, got to clean off my plastic too. And before we put our inks away, that's the first thing we're going to do is make sure I did everything okay. The first thing we're going to do is do our we're going to do our folder. So with this, with the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. Hi Lynn, happy Wednesday. Hi Maria, it says you're watching. Okay, so with the embossing, you're going to use plate one, and then you're going to put your cardstock in the embossing folder like so, and you're going to close it, and then you're going to use plate 4. That's all you need for embossing. Now you guys that used to use or may still use the Stampin', the old one that we had, the Big Shot. Do you remember how when you would put your folders through and it was like you'd have to really crank, and it would be so tight that sometimes it would like make your paper, your cardstock, just tear? You don't have to worry about that anymore. It goes through so smoothly and no tearing or perforating your cardstock. It's so nice, so nice. Okay, and that was my Tasteful texture folder. Get ready for the next thing. So before we put our ink away, I'm going to get out my Calypso Coral. I don't know if you noticed, this was a little bit too stark for me, so I put just a little bit of Calypso Coral along the edge. So you might want to get this dauber out again. Depending on how much ink you have on there, you might not need to get too much ink. I'm just going along the edges and a little tiny bit towards the center. Not a lot. I don't want this to be the focal point. I just want it to be an accent. This is what we called distressing ages ago, remember? Distressing our cardstock. So that just gives it a little bit of offset. Not enough to take our eyes away from the focal point. And I realized I could have put some pearls on here, and I might still do that. I made this morning. I knew what I wanted to do, but I hadn't actually put it on paper, so to speak. So now we're going to get this and our dies. So these are our peach dies from the bundle that we used for our class. And I'm using my removable tape to keep these in place. And then I'm going to use this for my flowers, my peach blossoms. Now we're going to bring our Stampin' Cut and Emboss back in. And if you've been on the fence about this, go ahead and get it. You'll be glad you did. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 2 because we're cutting now. We're not doing the embossing. And then 3. So 1, 2, 3. Going to put our cardstock there, cutting side down. Another 3. There we go. And run that through, and it goes through so smoothly. No fuss. Oh, go ahead, Catherine. You're welcome to it. Oh, thanks, Maria. You don't have to worry about interrupting. I like to see comments. I don't feel so alone when I see comments. When I don't see comments, I feel like, am I the only one here? Because, you know, I keep going because I know a lot of people watch it afterwards. But, yeah, don't worry about commenting. I like comments. Okay. We've got the last little bit of flowers here to cut. And yeah, I like the way this card turned out. Like I said, it was in my head until this morning, and I had promised you another card with your leftovers, and so I thought, okay, this is the card. This is what we're gonna do. But so from now on Wednesdays, I will be doing a fun fold card, and there's tons of them out there, so I don't think we will run out. And I wanted to start with the simple ones. Didn't want to scare anyone away because they can get pretty complicated. All right, so we're going to put this on here, and what I did, I didn't want to put a bunch of dimensionals, so I got out, if you look on the mini dimensionals, they give you a nice wide border there. So I'm going to cut along that border that they gave me. And then there's one over here that I can use. And then I'll probably use this one here. So when your little dimensionals are all gone, don't throw your thing away, because look at this, you get all this extra. And I'm going to straighten that out. Nobody will see it, but I know it. I know it's there. So you on the back, what you're going to do is, let me go ahead, and I might have to trim these down a little bit because they're pretty long. Okay. All right, so it's going to take the backing off and put it here. Take this backing off, put it there, and then this one's going to go in the center. You can just use your regular dimensionals if you don't want to do this part. It'll just take longer. Okay, and then I'm going to remove the backings here. Maybe. I don't know why they didn't want to come off. Back off, back off. There we go. And I've got a trash can down here by half the time I don't even get it in the trash can. I just pick it up later. All right, so this is going to go here in the center. There's more room at the top than there is at the sides, so remember that when you're making it. The most important thing is that it's level, and it is so sticky. All right, there we go. That's good enough. We're going to put our leaves there. Does it always have the numbers on it? so you remember what to put first. I'm not sure, Lynn. Okay, so my fingers are getting dry from using those wipes, so I'm going to use some of my Sort Quick fingertip moistener. I got it Office Depot, so paper won't, I can actually touch the paper and it won't be sliding around. So I want my flower to kind of look like it's coming out of the peach, because if I just did like this, it might look like it was just kind of in the air, floating in the air. So that's why I wanted it to come out of the corner of the Have a Peachy Day, and it's about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, so that will tell me where to put that. I'm going to put some glue on the back, and there's plenty of places to put your dots of glue so that it stays down. So I'm going to put that right here, kind of at an angle. Hold it down till it dries. I think I put that on with glue dots. Yeah, I did. I got 4 glue dots. So here's my glue dots. Got 1 in each corner, 2, and then these not exactly in the corner because the corner kind of sticks off the edge. So Have a Peachy Day. It sticks off the edge just a little bit, which is fine. Now there's 3 sizes of flowers. We're going to put large, medium, and small, just like that, with our glue dots. So large, medium, and small. There we go. Cute, cute, cute. Let's put this here with some snail. I gotta get used to calling this seal and not snail. Years of habit, right? This is just going to go centered in here like that. Oh, okay. Thanks, Catherine. I'm glad you could figure it out. Yeah, it's really worth it to change over. It's really worth it, I think. So yeah, you start with 1 on the bottom and then you build up. The lowest number on the bottom and the highest number on the top. Always, no matter what you're doing. Okay, so I've got the big flower and the small flower over here in this area, and then the medium flower up here in the corner, like that. So I'm going to put those on with glue dots too. I like to use glue dots over glue for things like this because it does kind of give them a dimension, and they're not sitting so flat on the against the cardstock. Whereas if you use glue, it tends to lay flat. Sometimes that's what you want, and sometimes it's not. Okay, so there is our card, but like I said, I think I want to do some pearls. So let me grab my little pearls, wherever they happen to be, somewhere around here. So I was going to say the Sweet Strawberry class is good till July 31st. So make your purchases. Check out my website, www.carolbcrafts.com. If you're ever unsure about what host code to use or what class is available, check out my website and you can always find out that information there. So always supposed to do threes, so I will do threes today. One there and one there. Now see the difference? Just those three little pearls, it just basically finishes it. It gives it that perfect finish. This one, my husband's outside doing yard work. Can you hear? I have no idea what he's doing. I'm going to put that one up more in the corner. It was a little too close to the... But that gives you an idea of why embellishments are so nice. So let me finish putting my embellishments over here. One there and one over here. Alrighty. And also, if I send everyone an email about the paper share, so let me know. The first batch is full, but you know, if I get enough people, I'll do a second batch. Just let me know. It's good till August 2nd, so let's see how many more people we might get. All right, guys, that is our card for today. That is an easel card. Well, thank you, Gwen. So yeah, this is an easel card, and let me grab that one last thing. I've also seen people do the easel card this way. So basically it's the 8.5 by 5.5, scored it 5.5, and then scored it 2 3/4. Or not 2 1/8. Yeah, scored it 5.5 and 2 1/8. And then they did it like this. So it's your choice. You can do it like that, or you can do it like that. All right, that's it, guys. Love you, and I will see you Friday for FYI Friday. Have a great day, and get in your craft room and do some crafting. All right, bye now.